just, we had a building, and at night everybody would go to their, to their trailers to go to sleep. And then we'd have one person stay back that's just there to, you know, there's computers there and weapons and, sensitive like all kinds of things. So you're just there and hanging out. Um, and, I'd pass the time by drinking coffee and listening to music. And I had a little basketball hoop there. Or I would skateboard up and down the halls, or,
Nice. Yeah.
just things like, and it wasn't that big. Like you're talking, 12 or 2,000 square feet. So just kind of like a normal house, like that's huge. But I would go outside a lot, just to, get some fresh air, look at the stars or whatever. There was, at that time, light pollution was almost nil because Baghdad would consume energy and things like that for their people at night, and they would turn things off and things like that. So I would always go out there just to kind of check things out. And I went out there, one evening in October, and look in the sky, and I see this brilliant light. And the first thing I think of is just airplane, helicopter. It's a pretty common thing to see, especially out of Camp Victory. There's, Baghdad International Airport's pretty close to that.
Gotcha.
So see this light come in, and I really it gets closer, and I'm like, that's definitely not a helicopter. I can't hear, the rotors. Can't hear any of that. It's not an airplane. It's not a star. And it just gets kind of closer and closer and closer.
Gotcha.
And as it, appears, I have like this telepathic message that comes just straight into my heart and my mind. I can hear it clear as day of no harm will come to you while you're here. It wasn't something like I thought, oh, UFO or alien. I didn't really have context, for that at that moment. I didn't know what it was. Seriously had no idea, but I knew what I heard. And that was kind of like the part where I'm like, okay, so this is definitely real. I feel it. Like I don't know if you have had this kind of experience before where you feel it in the core of your body, like in your bones, your cells, everything is just like, I know what I heard. I know what I see. As real as anything else I've ever had in my life. And it kind of just backs away and, dissolves and disappears. The way I kind of told people the way it looked was, someone kind of had a flashlight in the sky just shining down. There wasn't a beam or anything at all, but just a light. And, white bluish light. Coolest thing ever. I looked around like, somebody had to have seen that. Camp Victory is a huge base. It's not like people are, it operates 24/7. I was like, surely somebody had to have seen what I just saw. And so I'm like looking around, and I'm like kind of peeking around the corner of the building, and there's no one. Like no one's come out and be like, did you see that? Like, dude, like,
right.
And from what I hear, like I talk to a lot of people about, the orb situation is, sometimes they'll show themselves to you and not others, even in a group setting. Like there could be a group of you there, and so you'll see it in someone else. And so the only thing, like I was like, Signal Hill was in front of my building in Iraq, and you can see this kind of stuff like on satellite imageries in 2004. I actually got pictures of it, and I actually have the coordinates. Like I have the legit coordinates of where everything happened. To the T, because not only that, I wanted to know like what were the star constellations like at that time. And a huge one that has come into my life and into vision would be Pleiades, which was just where the light came from. And it's kind of put me on this weird track of the Pleiades and Pleiadian lore and stories, all kinds of things in front of me that I just absolutely have no idea about prior to me kind of really digging deep into all of this past fall.
Gotcha.
And I was telling Sarah, I think I'm not sure if I told her this in that video or just like, when I had a conversation with her or whatever, but the Pleiades is 444 light years away.
Oh, interesting.
My angel number. I
Wow.
see it everywhere. 444 constantly everywhere, all over the place. So that was something that I found. But I just have this draw of um, I've had this this sense of like homesickness and belonging out there that I've had
Yeah.
for a really long time. And I would say things to my wife all the time, like, I belong up there. I don't know why. And she's like, just stop. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm just feel very drawn to the stars. It's a very weird thing, I know, but it's it's just how like there's just pull for it. Um, Another synchronicity that happened. I drive a Subaru Ascent, um, and the Subaru logo is Pleiades.
Yeah, I remember you saying that because I didn't know that, and I have an Ascent and a Forester, and
Yeah,
now that's all I can see when I see the logo
same.
now. Yeah,
I had it for 4.5 years. I had no idea. I was just driving to Costco one day, and I was like, "What's going on with this steering wheel right now?" Like, and it was just like, and so I stopped at Costco and I looked up, what does the logo for Subaru mean? Because, and then boom, there it is. That's exactly what it is. They designed that logo specifically after Pleiades.
yeah, that's so interesting. Um, so it's kind of fascinating because you're drawn to Pleiades, and I feel like I'm drawn to the constellation Cassiopeia
Hmm.
for some reason, but like that's where I record a lot of interesting things. Um, but I also did want to ask, when you saw the light in the sky, like how big was the light if you had to like estimate? Like to you,
So
what
taller than the moon, but not, so it was decent size. I
gotcha,
mean, a
okay.
ball size.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, um, brilliant. Yeah, yeah, it was big. Couldn't tell you how far away it was. It wasn't ground level by any means. It was definitely, in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like for the triangle formation of orbs I saw
Hmm.
that like directly over my house. But yeah, trying to like estimate anything in the sky is so difficult. Like
Oh
I don't know how people give an estimate. They're like, "Oh, I saw like 100 feet above me or whatever." Because
yeah.
when
Mhm.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, that could be right above me or it could be like at plane height. Like it's really hard to judge how
Yeah.
high
Like
it is.
I've had, I've had plenty of like, it wasn't up until recently, maybe, um, since like November is when I really started bringing a camera out with me, and I still don't always bring it out with me. But I remember sitting there, and I swear that the blue light went in between my trees, not once, but twice. Like amazing, like made me freak out. And I'm just like, oh my God, and I was like, can't
Yeah.
believe it. And that seems like that's 30 feet, 45 feet. It just looks like a shooting star literally went right through my trees. And I've got orbs where, you're filming them and they look like they're way up there. Uh, and yeah, so it just depends. But like, my camera, I just use this. I know everybody like use that
Mm.
psionics
That's
Aurora.
very similar to what I started out with actually. It was
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Uh, it does the job.
Mhm.
Um, but, that helps me kind of, uh, it's got like 4 or 5 different IR settings and things like that, but it
Yeah.
helps me just kind of, see things. And, I haven't posted any of those videos on UAP Pod yet. I don't
Mm.
know why. I just feel like they're just like sacred to me right now, and I just keep them.
Gotcha.
I've showed a couple to Corey, and Sarah, just in a message or whatever. Um, but yeah, they're super cool. Like I don't know how to explain it to people. I try to even explain it to my wife. I'm like, I don't know. You just need to be there.
Yeah. Definitely. I feel that because I'm always trying to like explain to people that, it's one thing to like see the video too, but like when you're experiencing this in real time and like the things that you're saying and like these different things too. Like sometimes I have no idea like how correlated my phenomenon I record is until I go back and like rewatch and realize like I said this thing like right before this thing happened. Like what's like the chances of that happening? Yeah, I know. It was. I wish we could get another one side by side like we got earlier. Now that it's dark, I'm gonna speak it into existence. There will be another one side by side.
Thank you so much. Just God bless you for letting us learn. Like, seriously, so touched with your kindness and generosity and just letting us into your home.
So it picks up different view of the camera, right? It's not like that other goggles are like real clear and gray.
What if we'll share with here? Whoa! What are those? Oh my God! What are those? Thank you. I just said we can get two side by side. Wow! Thank you. Yeah, they're just chilling. Wow.
As they move down, they're like perfect parallel.
Yeah, they're like, it's like they're connected.
Oh, I just saw a flash over to the left too. Oh my God, thank you. Oh, I just saw the flash to the left again. It was like right over in this area. Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you. Can we, oh, thank you.